It may be slightly overshadowed by other big sporting events this weekend, home and abroad, but this Camogie Championship clash had its own significance. Cork are going for their 6th All-Ireland title in 7 years, while Galway are again major contenders and are led this year by the county's top player of her generation, Thérèse Marr, playing consistently to the highest standard for more than 10 years. Mary O'Connor of Cork is also one of the outstanding players in the modern game. One of several lining out for Cork here who featured in all of the last 6 championships. Galway struck an early blow, indeed as early as the 2nd minute of the game, with this goal by Tara Rutledge after Aisling Connolly's free fell invitingly for the right full forward. Cork frees by Sheila Burns kept her team in touch, along with this fine score by Emer O'Sullivan, but Galway sharpshooter Aisling Connolly was accurate from frees and from play. This point, one of her 7 on the day, including 5 frees. At the interval, Galway led by 6 points, but Cork would have a very strong wind at their backs in the second half. Galway stretched their lead to 1-9 to 5 points, but Sheila Burns got Cork going with this point from play, followed by 2 frees. Galway had a valuable point from play by Aisling Connolly in reply, and then a crucial score to really assert their superiority again. The scorer was Orla Kilkenny raiding from midfield to make it 1-12 to 8 points. Cork now needed a goal, but they had to settle for a point by Jennifer O'Leary. While at the other end, midway through the second half, Thérèse Marr brilliantly hit a long-range free into the wind. It was all-out Cork attack in the closing stages, but Galway's defence was unyielding, superbly marshalled by Anne-Marie Hayes, unbeatable at centre-back. Julia White had a late point for Cork, but Galway led from start to finish and won it by 114 to 11 points.
I suppose you have to say we hit the ground running. We got a great start, you know, hit the back of the net early on, and I suppose it was the dream start for us, and thank God we didn't look back after that, you know. But you know, having said that, we've nothing proper won yet. We've to go and face Clare next weekend, and we know that could be a very physical encounter as well. And you know, no doubt we will meet Cork again another day.
It's a tough game. Games against Galway are always tough, and I think they're an exceptionally good team this year. You know, a team to be reckoned with. You know, we've our work cut out now from here on in after getting beaten against Kilkenny and now Galway. So yeah, we're under a bit of pressure, like, but you know, Galway are a very good and tough side, like.
Kerry went into this Christy Ring Cup final against Westmeath with an unblemished record and have displayed a confidence that has been lacking in recent years thanks to the influence of John Myler. And that confidence was evident in the early exchanges as Shane Nolan displayed with this fine point as they quickly built up a 4-point lead. But Westmeath have plenty of experience at playing at this level at Croke Park. And this was evident as Brendan Murtha ran through the Kerry rearguard, only to be taken down. Myler could do nothing but look on, but the resultant penalty was saved and then finally cleared. But as the half-time approached, the Midlanders did find a way through. Dan Carthy, with a fine run, finally got past Brendan Rochford, as Kerry led by 2 points, 12 points to 1-7 at the break. Westmeath showed a greater sense of purpose in the second half, and in the 40th minute, Paul Greville showed great determination as he charged past several defenders and drew Westmeath level. But Kerry were in no mood to lie down, and they kept in touch with points like this fine one from John Egan. Dara O'Connell's free-taking had been exemplary throughout, and he then displayed his coolness under pressure from a 21-yard free, which was half-cleared, but O'Connell made no mistake from the rebound. Both sides exchanged points as the game went into injury time, but Andrew Dermody proved to be the hero as he scored the winning point, and it finished Westmeath 216, Kerry 118.
Hard step and stuff. You know, it could have been anyone's game. You know, we worked very hard. We went 4 points up in the second half and we were cruising and we thought we were going to push on. But fair play to Kerry, they came back and, you know, they nearly nailed us in the end.
Last year's defeated finalists London were hoping to go one better in the Nicky Rackard final, but a goal in each half by corner forward Paul Breen meant further heartbreak for the Exiles as Armagh won by the narrowest of margins, 3-15 to 3-14 the final score. So it's a delighted Paul McCormack lifted the cup as Armagh made up for the disappointment of 3 years ago. While Longford's first experience of a national final was a successful one as they won the Lowry Mar Cup at the expense of Donegal, Gareth G was the star for the Midlanders as they won comfortably on a scoreline of 120 to 112. A delighted Brendan Stakem led the celebrations, and this was the cue for a long night in Longford.
Antrim came into this game following their 9th consecutive Ulster title win over Down here at Casepan Park last Sunday, while Carlow arrived in West Belfast with renewed confidence following their win over Laois. Antrim registered the game's first score here from Carl McKeegan, but were to be rocked on their heels shortly after this. Kevin Ryan's side bayed for goals throughout. Carlow ended up the game with 3 of them, hitting the back of the net, including this fine effort, to begin with, from Craig Doyle. Carlow's second goal, shortly afterwards, was due more to sloppy Antrim defensive play. Again Doyle, he was to punish their error. And Carlow led by 5 points at the end of the opening quarter. Watch closely here, Shane McNaughton's sideline puck got a flick to the net from Liam Watson. Was he in the small square? He said no, the referee said yes, and the goal was ruled out. Antrim, though, were to close out the half much the better and registered 4 unanswered points, including this fine effort from Liam Watson. Trailing by 5 at the break, Antrim were to get the opening 2 scores of the second half, but Carlow were to hit them back yet again with a third goal. This time it was Paddy Keogh. 3 minutes later, Antrim won themselves a penalty. Des Shaw, perhaps harshly adjudged to have given away a penalty on this occasion. Dinny Cahill asked for more from his side. Liam Watson responded by dispatching the penalty. A gallant Carlow challenge begun to wilt after this. The danger was not cleared. Shane Kavanagh had the opportunity. Eventually the ball came to PJ O'Connell and he finished to the net. The sides were level with just 2 minutes remaining in the game, but the home team showed true grit and character to register the final 3 scores, including this effort from their midfielder Carl Stewart. It was a famous victory for Antrim, just their second in the All-Ireland qualifying series.
We saw Carlow last weekend against Laois, and they played some brilliant hurling. Like, we're expecting that, but when you're caught for 2 goals, and maybe we had a goal disallowed as well into the bargain as well. So that was a 9 point of a swing around, like, you know. But we fought hard to get back into the game, and then the second half when they got a goal again and they pushed on. I suppose at that stage I questioned the character of our players, but they fought hard and they dug deep and they came out, worthy winners at the end, I think.
At home in Thurles against Wexford, Tipperary desperately needed to put the crushing defeat by Cork behind them and re-establish themselves as real contenders. As Lar Corbett opened the scoring for Tipperary, an off-the-ball tussle at the other end of the field saw Wexford full forward Stephen Banville and Tip full back Declan Fanning yellow-carded. The Tip man had to leave the field with an ear injury. Paul Curran came on as a blood sub and stayed for the rest of the game, as a heavily bandaged Fanning was unable to return. Tipperary took charge of an encounter which lacked real intensity, steadily building up a lead. All of their forwards were on the score sheet by the break. While wing-back David Young caught the eye on his championship debut, contributing 3 first-half points and an impressive man-of-the-match performance. Wexford certainly felt the loss of their suspended captain Diarmuid Ling as they tried to stay with Tipperary. Tomas Mahan's point saw them trail by 8 at the halfway stage. 2 early second-half goals ended the contest. Some very poor defending allowing Noel McGrath set up Lar Corbett. Inside a minute, Corbett was back for more. It was more challenge match than championship at that stage, the second goal opening up a 16-point gap, one which the Division 2 champions had no hope of closing. A depressing afternoon for Colin Bonner, who had travelled in the hope of getting one over on his former Tipperary teammate. As more substitutes joined the action, Wexford added some late points. And Tipperary added another goal. Dara Egan on hand after Noel McGrath was denied.